Tonight, as we prepare to pick up on part 2 of our series of building a championship team, you know, the request has been for segments of what it means to have a championship team, but by the requesters, they haven't known that they want the whole picture, they don't want just a bite of the sandwich, they want the sandwich. Lead generation is a good demonstration of having the pieces needed to build the depth within an organization. I have a philosophy, and I think you all deserve to know what that is. That philosophy is that I would never join a home business, whether direct sales or multi-level marketing, unless I was going to go all out. What's a shocker to me, people would rather join 7 or 8 different things and hustle their rear ends off. Now, I'm going to have to mute folks because somehow we, don't worry, I got you. You ain't got to worry about it. I got you. I'm going to meet you all. So, what I have noticed is that many don't know. They have no idea that you can do more in 1 year with a focus, with systems and methodology than you can over 10 years being random. And random is a great explanation of how I describe the way most manage a home business, which is why we're not set free. Did I not tell you? I personally started by doing business. But I applied the things in part 1 by building a championship me so that people couldn't help it. Clearly, if you work harder and smarter than those around you, and you exhaust yourself getting the answers, not being a victim or a dependent, clearly people are going to see that. They're going to want you to help lead their brigade. And that's where this goes. So part 1, if you haven't watched it, I just put in a great plug for it. Jumping to part 2 without part 1, you can do it, but I want you to go back and watch it if you've missed it. Okay? So tonight, as we kick off how to build a championship team, I'm going to go ahead and start with the screen share pot here so we can get to it. I'm going to this one, sir. Let me know you guys can see.
I can see it.
Okay, good. You see my slides?
Yes, and I see you up in a small picture of you.
That's right. Me small, it big, right? Building a championship team. We talked about building a championship you in part 1. Next, we need to talk about having systems, and those systems will be essential, right? They're going to be essential for you to be able to build something not just fantastic, but something that can actually transform things for your family. That means doing the work up front rather than just signing up. Most of us have been lied to that all you need to do is just sign up for something and be the first one and you're going to get wealthy. No, you have some spurts of income that'll lead you chasing first over the next decade or two. I believe we can help turn that around. So tonight, I want you to embrace having a championship system. Now, we're going to begin, and I'm not going to review 1. I don't think it makes sense to. You already have it. Tonight, we're going to talk about, first, communication systems. You need to build a great communication system. Before I actually open up the autoresponder and show you how to plug into that and talk about capture pages, we got to make sure we get this. And what do these systems look like? Bear with me if you will. First, the first things that are first are, what is your communication uphill? Everybody gets this wrong. They get it so wrong, ladies and gentlemen. They get it wrong because as soon as they get in, the only communication they have, right, are 2 ways. First thing they do is start passing out a link before they know what they have, right? Their communication isn't uphill first. Their communication is downhill. It's downhill to people who haven't even committed yet. And it just gets to be bass backwards, and we're going to do something about it. So we're going to talk about uphill, downhill. We're going to talk about internal and external. And we're going to talk about the consistency needed when it comes to communication. Then we're going to move to the next point. Once I'm done, we're going to go inside, and I'm going to select one of you. Well, I'll create an autoresponder campaign template for you so you can get how this is done. It's not rocket science. It's actually not difficult. You can do it. So let's go ahead and move forward with this. So communication is the first part of your system. If you have a system on the internet that is making you money daily, monthly, or weekly, or annually, and the communication is not included in that system, your system is faulty. Rule number one. People get so caught up in the bells and whistles. Well, how will I know? Well, I want to make sure I get the best. And you know how many people I have that have the best, what they call the best, and it's ineffective because it's not about the best. It's about how you use it. You realize if you kill someone with a Smith & Wesson or an off-brand gun, they're still dead. The effect is what you're looking for. Focus on the effect. So let's go ahead and take a peek. Let's communicate uphill. And what that's going to look like tonight, I hope you're writing. If you're not writing, I'm asking you to write. Doesn't matter if you're on YouTube, Facebook, or you're in this Zoom with me. You communicate uphill in a specific way. If you get started today, first thing you want to do is open up the line of communication. Now, you got to understand this. Communication is sending and receiving messages. If you didn't know it, I'm telling you now, it's like a symphony, right? The symphony isn't complete unless the percussions, the horns, the strings, everything's playing at once. What has to happen is there's got to be incoming and outgoing communication. That means you're receiving communication, and then, of course, you are also giving feedback and or vice versa. You're seeking information with your communication, and you get feedback back from uphill. What is uphill, Dwayne? First, the uphill I'm talking about is your upline. One of the greatest disconnects in home business that creates the absence of wealth is the broken umbilical cord between you and the person who you started with, and between you and the people you sponsored. If you need me to break it down for you, of course I shall. My concern is that you might not know what I mean, so I'm going to go ahead and make it clear. Many of you have made the mistake of believing that signing someone up is the answer and it's the solution. So pretty much all communication is done at that point. And if it is communication, it's random and not purposeful, which means you can't build a championship team. You have to constantly go get new people because the ones you have are distant. They're disconnected. They're not getting the bloodline through the umbilical cord. And what does that mean for you? Well, I'll tell you. It means that, you're looking at, I don't know if you see me or what. I gotta remember to toggle between all these other systems. So now, what that means for you now, you got 6 or 7 people, and half of them don't want to do anything anymore, and the other ones you don't know, they don't know anything, you haven't heard from them in a while, because when you put your system together, it came together broken, or your system is outdated. So your upline communication is premier. That's your first one. What does that look like? If you sign up with someone and gave them your money, what's next? Where do I go? You can do it while you're signing up, before and during and after. I don't need you to do anything for me. Do not accept it. Here's another broken part of the upline communication. Many of you have the guy or gal sign you up themselves from their back office. Others of you might decide to not miss your fast food for the week and you have them pay it for you and you'll pay them back later. All of the ways to insist upon failed systems are built upon the systems that don't have empowerment. Don't worry. I built so I can tell you what I know. What I do know is people do what you expect them to do. Many of you will know what happens if you come to me and I own the company and you want me to comp you in. So a lot of you know, some of you don't know. So let me help you. I don't believe in disabling, and certainly if I'm going to enable, it certainly wouldn't be someone who very well has it. It's just for the psychological game of feeling important or prudent. I'm going to tell you this. You want to do well, have your communication as an upline to be premier. That means if you have the audacity to ask someone for their money to sign up with you, have the courtesy to give them what's next. And if you don't know what's next, turn your television off, stop working all the other programs, and learn what's next so you can put them in shape. If this makes sense to you, give me number 2. I want to make sure that we all get it, because this cycle of what's happening has got to stop before cryptocurrency hits its highest heights. You don't even know it, but you can stop the scamming. You can stop scammers from scamming because of the expectation that you have and the expectation that you're giving. Instead, we all give excuses and we want excuses for the absence of productivity. So now, communication to the upline. Are we all good on that? Yay or nay? I need to know. Talk to me. Give me number one if you are. If you get it, makes sense, that's beautiful. Let me go back and finish. Communication with the upline. How's that look? Well, Dwayne, I'm glad you mentioned it. Well, you need communication with the company as well. Now, you as the upline is one set of communication between you and your downline. You and the person that sponsored you is another communication. When this is poor, trust me, the rest is poor. Communication with the company. Here's where the 21st century home business owner fails miserably. Here's what I learned early on. If there is a company working to pay me and they actually have means for me to get updates on how things are going, they never have to look for me. I'm a thorn in their flesh. I'm all over them. You may want to know why. I want you to note the failure comes because you as an upline don't know what's going on, therefore you can't tell those people you've just sponsored. Then, when they become an upline, they follow your lead because everything reproduces after its own kind. Now we've got a bunch of people who don't know anything because they already have 10 years of experience, so they're completely out of the loop. It boggles my mind how many people who used to make a lot of money don't anymore, and they're in the company, but they never know what's going on. They don't attend the live Zooms or webinars unless, of course, there could be some front seats. Or they don't check in the Telegram. One of my biggest pet peeves is someone to waste my time on a phone call when I've got to manage multiple companies and they want to ask me something that they've already gotten from the company in their inbox and or Telegram or YouTube or Facebook. You tell me why there are greater paths to reach people from companies and there's the least amount of communication received or sent in this 21st century. How can that be? How can that be? Do you guys see some of the challenges there with that? It's remarkable. So I just did one thing. I forgot to go back and share my screen with y'all when I was showing it. I was doing both, two things at once. So if you think about that for a minute, oh my gosh, how could that be that I don't have the ability to know what's going on with my company, and I did 20 years ago, and the only way they had was emails. There wasn't much text. Texting is a new concept. New for those of us who are older. There was no Telegram, right? There was no MySpace, which doesn't even exist anymore. Now you got a million ways to get to know what's going on, and most of you spend most of your time using your media and your mobile devices for things that don't pay you. You want to have a system that's going to make sense? You want to be able to put together a system where you've got new leads coming every day. Be the person. Be the man or the woman, regardless of your height or weight or your color, your country. Be the man or be the woman. So how do you do it? You improve your system by starting with the communication, and you're going to start it with communication upline, right? The communication that must go uphill, upline and to the company. Receive what they have to say, and if anything you don't understand, you seek out. I love those kind of requests. When someone who's in the loop and they know what's going on and they want more, then they reach out to me. I enjoy those kind of conversations. I detest the ones where you've been told over and over again, you just ignore it because you already have it going on in your head. You think you already know all the answers, so what happens? You get insulted when I tell you, I've already told you twice. I'm busy. You have to call to figure out another way. Go to support. So there. Uphill communication is essential. Uphill communication, it has its look when you have the incoming from the upline, right? You got face-to-face. Some of you sponsor people who live in the same town and the same city as you. That will require some communication. Now, this communication is so important. When I work my teams, I never sign someone up who didn't commit to the big picture. I tell them you can join anyone else. Number one, I want you to be able to be successful. So if you're joining our team and you're not going to be on our training calls, trust me, you're just giving away money for no reason. I was very clear. We don't want you to lose money that belongs to your family. We want you to be empowered so you can be extremely successful. So this face-to-face communication that you have at the coffee shop and at your homes, wherever it is, treat it with the respect of a business. One of the reasons your family doesn't respect your business and the people you tell don't is because you don't treat it that way. All you want is a written check or a credit card transaction or a crypto transaction. You must know that you can do better. You can be better. How about that? How could you possibly do better and be better? Well, you can make sure that you outline the expectations in your communication. So, face to face. That's one of the ways. Let's look a little further. Email. Email's another. Now, I'm so weird. Before we had all these fancy types of email systems and all that, when I joined, I created an email system. When someone joined, first thing I did was I reached out to them and had them to join on my list so they can be up to date with our team so I can make sure that they're making money. Therefore, they did not give me a fake address. I made it clear. I personally, if I sponsored you, you're going with me. Whenever I'm winning awards on the stage, you're going to be winning them too. That's what I put out to them. When I'm earning bonuses and earning $10,000 checks or whatever else, I want you to be earning them too. So if you want to be sponsored by me, here's the way it works. Now watch this. Welcome to the team, the email states. My name is Dwayne Golden. I'm the CEO of this company, D Golden Associates. We have our current provider, which is the Navy Corporation. I'm working to ensure that you, with your business model, can achieve what we're achieving. And because I did that, now what happened is I've brought people in who already knew that I had a high expectation. I had a standard. And because I had a standard, I didn't have what a lot of you have. Well, I don't know. They haven't done anything in a couple of weeks. I haven't heard from them in a long time. You can get around that by beginning with the end in mind. If you're going to do face-to-face or you're going to do email, make sure it's purposeful. Somebody joined my team, they got an email from Dwayne Golden. Period. As many levels deep as needed. If their leader didn't do it. Now, watch how powerful this is. They didn't just get a welcome message. They were given the dates in which we had our training. This kind of communication, this system, when you start generating leads convert to signups. But you got to have a healthy environment to bring them into. You know, the foster kid doesn't want to go to the chaotic house. He or she already has that. They see something that's organized and set up nicely with the respect it deserves. They want that family. The people that don't join you, you think it's about you. You think it's because something's wrong with the company. You are the company. We're just a provider. You have an environment that is chaotic, and there's no method to your madness. But we can help you. So let's see what else. Face-to-face, email, phone. How about that? Phone. If there's a person you know of, call them. Some of you have it so backwards. You have someone. They don't even know what your company's about or what you have. You want to put them on. You want to call me and bug me because you won't do your work. That's beyond me. You want them to respect the business that you're in. You want them to respect what you're doing. Use it properly. Someone comes in this week. You've noticed some good things. If you sponsored me and this week you saw I actually had a sale, if you know my number, I expect a call from you because you're my upline. You're the one that's leading my way. Hey, want to let you know, man, congrats. Good job. You're killing it. Let me know if there's something I can do. I see that you already work on some other things. Let me know I can help you. Phone. Now you guys have advantages that we didn't have a couple years ago. What do you do about that? Use them. Me? There's no way in the world I got a system that's going to pay me instantly. And I don't tell everybody the day that they get started with me. Right now, I'm going to sit here with you. Go and sign up for Telegram right now. When they're done with that, you're not done yet. Go in your back office. There's social media things across the top. Get there. Find out what's going on with this company. Next. I want to make sure you look in your back office, check the email address you used in your profile. If in fact you're using a fake email address that you never checked, get rid of that. You're not going to make money that way. You need to be aware of what's going on because you got yourself a system that's going to pay you 100% on all of your commission positions. It makes no sense that you're going to treat it like it's a hobby. Plug them in. WhatsApp, Telegram, YouTube, Twitter, whatever you have to do. Now, let me go ahead and get back to you. I don't know if you all understand the power of this or its importance. I'm not here to shame anybody and make you feel bad. Yeah, I got you. I'll answer that question a little bit, Tommy. So here you go. I want you guys to get this. You've got, everybody just wants to do the quick microwave way. Some of you don't know that if you set up an autoresponder, it would just pretty much sit if you don't know the stuff I'm talking about. So this is where your power comes in. I told you on Wednesday, know more than everybody else who's doing the same business. I don't care if they're up or side or downline from you. You learn more than anybody else. That's what the answer is. So if communication is jacked up, fix it. Fix the communication. Fix it. Don't let someone join your team and be in the dark, not sure what's going on because it's not reproducible. Did you know that when people join your organization, they follow you? Every time they land in your commission position, you get paid 100% of that dollar amount. Why would you not want to inform and empower? We got the perfect excuses with COVID-19. Let's go a little bit further. I don't want to get caught up, but I tend to get excited because I want you. Let me see how. Yeah, Google. So let's get back out there and see more. So uphill communication. We talked about upline, downline, the company. We talked about email. We talked about individual stuff, right? Corporate, and then invitations to. Here's the thing. You got new prospects coming. It's amazing how many of you go to live overviews and you don't send prospects there. I would never do that. I'm already in. I don't need to go. I don't need to see how to get started. I already got started. But when I have new people, I tell them, if you have someone that you don't have to waste your time talking about how the company works, send them to the live overview or send them to your landing page. So let's go ahead and walk a little further. You see, I've got support tickets, which Tommy's talking about now, Telegram, social media, right? And now there's an obligation to go downhill with your communication. Don't worry. I'm going to get to it. We're going to get to the email system, and I'm going to take who the first person. I'm going to give you an option to be the first person. I can actually create that for you in front of you. Downline members, communicate. We talked about all of these. If number one, your downline members. Number two, prospects who didn't join yet. If they didn't join yet, the wrong communication will send them away. The wrong communication is what we call throwing up on people. You got anybody ever hear that term, throwing up on people? They can't see it. They don't know anything about the digital or anything. All they know is you keep talking. Oh, it pays at 2%. It's Bitcoin. It pays at 2 seconds. You do all this. You get a landing. Then you cycle. They just get a lot of vomit. And you think that they don't want to join you. The problem is you had poor communication with them. Because the communication is poor and you're not refined at it, send them to your landing page. Let the video show them that. Send them to a live overview so you can take their time and not hear vomit. They get to actually hear what you're telling them. By the way, the principles work the same for any company you're in, right? This is not about our company. It's about using principles that will go with you to help you to be successful. If people are not in yet, don't send them away. I mean, you know how weird that is? It's like meeting someone of the opposite sex and you tell them, sorry, now that we meet, if we're going to date, I want you to know something. I like to pass gas a lot when I sleep. I'm kind of lazy. I sit around and just drink beers all day and hopefully you can bring me some while I watch ESPN. I hate working. I really hate brushing my teeth. Before you know it, you're talking about everything that makes them not want to be with you. A lot of you do that in this business because all you're doing is giving them fragments that don't say anything. You mentioned hot buzzwords that mean something to you but make no sense to them. To a person who doesn't know your business, cycling means nothing to them. Crypto means nothing to them. 1 to 2 seconds means nothing to them. Autoresponders to a person who doesn't know what it is means nothing. So stop giving people sound bites and use a system of communication so they can join you. Your issue isn't you can't get leads. People are putting fake information in because you've already thrown up on them and they don't want any more. And you can do better. If this part makes sense and it helps you, get to give me the number 2 so I know that I'm in the right vein. Because here's the deal. It really makes a big difference what you set in motion, because that's what stays in motion. Oh, good. That's good. So let's go ahead and see. Downline. We did upline. We're talking about downhill, right? And so incentivized communication. Some of you are like, hey, look, I'm collecting leads and I'm not getting it, right? They're putting in fake phone numbers like 555-5555, or they're giving me a fake email address. Well, you need to be creative. That's why I say a lot of times we have to shut our entertainment off so we can be very creative. And that creativity looks like this. Let me figure out a way to give them an incentive to actually give me their real information. Let me give them something that they would eagerly pay for, but I give it to them free. All they have to do is give me their email and phone number where I should send it. Ooh. See how that worked? Well, how does that work? We'll get to that. We'll get that some of that in part 3. But tonight you need to know the how. The problem that you have of getting artificial leads is because of the symptom of the greater problem, not the problem. People giving fake information is not the problem. That's the symptom. Autoresponder series. It's another way. Use incentivized communication that happens automatically where you don't have to wait. Some of you have been here for 2 or 3 weeks. You have an autoresponder, and the biggest excuse is you don't know what to do. You actually believe that. You buy into it. I'm going to help you with that. Tonight, we're going to do an autoresponder series in front of you. Invitations. Invite people. Invite them to a presentation. Go to YouTube, get one off of there. Then you go to your resources section, have them create a page that will host that video. And when people opt into a page that you have, or they go to the page, you can give it to them. But you already have one on your landing page. You already have a video that does that and will sign them up. It just takes not sitting around and waiting for somebody to always bring you the answers, just going and getting some, if that makes any sense. Downhill. Direct and indirect members, right? Let's go downhill communication. I've already talked about it. If I learned this week that the fees are high because of the condensed, what do you call it? The high condensed traffic because of the cryptos on the rise, I need to tell my people, don't be alarmed. The amounts of money that you're making are going to seem to be a little bit lower. It's because the miners are charging a lot more. The fees are higher for third-party applications and for the miners. Because you got to know, everybody should know this. Our company doesn't take money out of that. That's all done by third party. That's whoever you have your wallet through. So you need to know that. But the minute you know something, if you collect, I would never have a team where I'm growing where I don't have everyone's email. I will put them in autoresponder series. I get them all to opt in so I can stay up with them. I'm not going to wait for the company. I'm going to stay on top of things. Because in order for my team to be championship, right, I need at least 5 people who I can teach principles to like this. And then those 5 get 5. That means I'm going to have 25 in that group. When those 25 do it, I'm going to have 125 at the next level. Before you know it, only 2 to 3 months have gone by and I've got thousands of people while you're still hustling, looking for new people all the time. That's the difference proper communication makes. So email, phone, the same stuff. Hey, I saw you did this earlier. Guess what? I did hear about it, but guess what? Here's what's going on with that. I know the answer. By the way, there's a training tonight. If you're going to be great, you need to be on that training. If you're not, be sure to request or go to Telegram and get the replay tomorrow. This kind of communication, I know it's not foreign. It's just not done. We live in such an instantaneous market that everybody's lazy and nobody does all the hard work that lets your business grow for years. I would refuse to be a professional joiner. It would drive me nuts. starting over 5 to 10 times a year, that would just drive this old boy nuts. I have no idea how people do it. I just know I would rather take the first 2 to 3 weeks and put together the kind of system I'm talking about so it's on autoplay. What's up? Now, communication. Internal, when you talked about communication, we talked about it being upline and downline. Now we're talking about internal and external. Interesting. Internal communication is the stuff that happens with me and my team. If there's something going on, I need to make sure that, number one, I have my internal communication open from the company and my upline to get everything I possibly can. And I never want to contact my upline or the company about something that I should already know. I should just go know it. It's business. It's not a hobby. This isn't like what do you call this? Social. What do you call this? Social club. It's a business. And how dare I expect my business to pay me fortunes when I don't even want to know the things that will cause it? So internal communication must primarily, first of all, be that communication that keeps you in the know. Period. Then the next job I have is to do my due diligence to tell my people how important that is, that they have to be in the know. I'm going to tell them what puts them in the know. Even if they already got the information from the company, I'm going to make sure they know it from me. No one should be guessing on your team. The more guessing people have to do, the less you're able to make and the less they're able to make. The external communication, that's what happened to those people that come in as leads. Because you now will use incentivized communication, you can generate leads who give you the real email address and real phone number. When that happens, now you can keep them up to date. By the way, you didn't know this. We go into pre-launch in a few days or a few weeks, whatever story you want to tell them. You make sure you find out some validity behind whatever the story is, and you like a newspaper, you give them the story so they can be in the know. If you do it before Friday, it's only 25% of what it would normally cost, just in case, because I know you're still considering it. At least you know that. Communication external should never be, you just hope that they find out. You have to be purposeful. You have to be intentional. When you do well, if you've done well this week, you've already generated $2,400. You don't do it as a bragging moment. You show them. Here's one of the reasons I joined that company and told you about. Look what I'm able to do already. My wife and I are so happy that I'm probably going to be able to quit soon. Look what I'm already doing. And I'm not even done yet. I'll give you another update soon once I make some more. Instead of hard selling, pushing people, let them make an intelligent decision based on good communication that you're giving them. Good communication that you're giving them. Lastly, this idea of communication upline and downline, communication that is done internal and external, there needs to be a consistency about it. It's so funny. Some of you guys are like the guy that says, my wife knows I love her. We got married 40 years ago, and I told her then. She knows it because I told her back then. Some of you guys, you join a company, you open up an email the first week while you had puppy love. You actually went to Telegram during that time, but you don't know anything else. Amazing. Not only don't you know that there's a Zoom going on right now, it's Friday night. Why should you worry about making money when you can pretend to be a superstar? Tell everyone how good you are, how much money you've made over the years. What's happening is we've gotten ourselves in a bit of a pickle, ladies and gentlemen. We have ourselves in a pickle where we've lost the ability to use validity and prudence to build a business that can last. That's why it can't be consistent. Nothing about the way we're managing the business is consistent. Well, how can I be consistent in my communication? I've told a guy about a business this last week, and I told him about 2 others since then. How can I be consistent in my communication? I would have to actually be divided to do that. And so these are some of the challenges that you will find. So now, as I prepare to continue, and before I show you how that we write the email and everything else like that, I want your feedback. I want to know what's ringing true for you here. What is helpful or not helpful? What is it you just have a comment on? Maybe you already know this stuff and you have a comment. I want to know. I don't want to talk at you. One of the challenges we have is that people are so get used to being talked at. When they leave, there's no application. Don't be shy. No. Really? Okay. So maybe it's not helpful because, I actually have more content I have to give you. I just want to make sure it's touching base and making sense. So here we go. You have, somebody said something. You have several things in front of you. You have an opportunity to have the layer pulled back and say, oh my gosh, so that's what's wrong. Has anyone had that aha? If you had an aha moment from the things I'm talking about, give me a number 0. And I'm sorry for those of you who are on a social media because I can't see what you're saying yet. Oh, you said I get it. Okay, good. And zeros. Okay, good. Okay. That's what I was looking for. Okay. I need feedback to know. I'm a feedback type kid. I'm like an entertainer. I like to hear the crowd so I can know what I got going. Okay, good deal. All right, so let's get back to it and prepare to see what we're doing this with. Google Desktop. Bam. Now, Google Desktop. Bam. Okay. So consistency. It's the byproduct of a good communication system. You can't help but be consistent when you're doing the things we're talking about. So what you have to do is you have to plug and chug your communication. Now is when it makes sense to look at the technology. Everyone wanted me to go over the technology in the part 1. You had nothing to put in there. You have no substance yet. So it's important for me to give you the groundbreaking principles that will carry you as you build out your income. So here's the way that looks. Plug and chug. Now that you get it, you're at several keywords. Incentivize communication. Autoresponder, emails, opt-in, lead. These are really important words. In order for them to work, there needs to be a strategic method behind it. And that's what we've been talking about, being strategic. So whatever I'm doing, if it doesn't improve if it doesn't involve the communication needed, and it doesn't involve clarity for the recipient, I won't use that kind of communication. So we're going to plug and chug our communication into the Ingreso system. And we're going to see what that looks like. And now, when you do this, you're going to complement the communication system with your imagination. Here's what that looks like. Some of you got stuck when I said incentivize. It's your nature because your brain's been trained to have somebody in this industry give you the answer. So you didn't use your imagination. Immediately you thought, well, what does that mean? How would I incentivize them? Instead of seeking it. So I'm going to help you with that. It's really easy. The more we shut off and block out outside things, the easier it is to be innovative. So your imagination will, if someone says incentivize to me, immediately I think of what to do. It's only because I've been doing it for so long. But maybe years ago when I started this, I'm like, what in the world is incentivize? Right? So we're going to go plug and chug. I'm going to use somebody as an example, which means I'm going to help you with your system. I'm going to use you as an example, but I'm going to show you how to plug an incentivized system, how to get a page made that you like, that's good for you. And I'm also going to be able to write a brief autoresponder series for a new person that's coming in and joining you. So who am I going to use? First person that types in their username to me. Who said that?
Jackie.
Well, I can't even see the... Okay, let me go ahead and see. I can't always see this answer. Tagna. Okay, Tagna. Don't worry, Jackie. This will be helpful for you too. You didn't miss anything. I actually said the first person that types in their username, and you probably missed it because I do speak with a little bit of impediment. But it's important for you to know how this works. And I don't want to teach you through this process. So watch us now. I said plug and chug. Anybody remember that phrasing in your algebra? You plug and chug into a formula when you were replacing with A and B, R and X. You were replacing those things. It's called plug and chug. Well, anyway, that's where that phrase comes from. Boy, did my coffee get cold. Okay, so let's take a look together. I'm going to go ahead and I need to get rid of my screen and bring up the system. And I'm going to log into that person's account without everyone seeing how I do it, because you might just decide you want to do it. So now, while I'm doing that, what questions do you have, please? What questions do you have about anything I covered so far so that I can be an absolute blessing for you in this whole process? Bingo. Don't worry, I can see your questions. For those of you who are on social media, don't sweat it. You're about to see my screen in a moment. I'm using a side screen so I can continue to look at you and not be distracted. But I have to do this first. Tag, nah. I'd like to know what that stands for. Tagna. I like it. It's your initials. How could I not know that, Mr. Adams? Okay. I'm logging in as you. God bless me, because now I'm you. Okay. Let's go ahead. And I'm going to share my screen and do this with you. Okay? Now, I'm going to share my screen with you, those of you who are on Facebook too. I'm going to go to first of all, to your products. I mentioned incentivized lead generation, which means I want to incentivize someone to give me the actual info. I don't want to play games. So, you're like, Dwayne, what are you doing? This is just one of a million examples. I'm going to have to, you know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to put this in front of me. I can see that. Hold that thought. I guess I don't need my picture up there. Maybe that's what the answer is. I don't need my picture up there. Thank you for that. I'm going to get rid of my picture in the corner so I can turn and face the music. So now, if you look with me, I'm looking at a description of some products here, right? Now, my campaign that I will make will be all about what can I do to generate leads in this industry of either software or cryptocurrency, right? Where can I possibly give people help that might be a blessing for them that would help me to market to them to help them? Here's one I think is good, how to recover from bankruptcy. A lot of people are doing it now more than ever, more than almost any time in history right now. It's a sad thing that people are preparing for that. Let's see. Saving money. I'm just grabbing one. Here's a good one. I like this one. This is one that I actually sell. But how to systemize your business. Now that's going to be for people that are already in business. That's a good one. But I think where I'm going to stick to is creative ideas, arts and crafts for, budgeting and finance. This is a good one. This is perfect. Budgeting and financing. So now, before I give it away, I want to do several things. I'm going to go look at it. Make sure you can still see my screen. Hang on a second, folks. Okay. Can you see my screen, everyone? Just someone tell me if you can see it. Yay or nay? What? Okay, good. Thank you very much. So now, get all the support and guidance you need to be a success at budgeting. One of the greatest struggles for most Americans is this, okay? No doubt. So right now, I see one thing. Tagna, you did not create your profile yet for your products. So this won't be a major problem, but it is at least a problem. We'll get to it. So now you have this system, this page, where people can learn how to do budgeting as an entrepreneur, as an internet marketer, network marketer, life coach. Anybody that falls in these categories can use this system. They can learn budget basics, record, how to record your income, like ledgers. This is really important. It's the greatest struggle of people who believe they're at the poverty line and are not. It's amazing how many people that make $30,000 or $40,000 a year and believe they're in the poverty range, when there are clearly people that make 15 and 20 and they're making it. Budgeting is all the difference. So I'm telling you that on purpose. So watch this. Now I know what kind of campaign to create for this guy, but I want to first see what it cost. I want you to see the value here of what we're doing. Now it's only $7. So now watch how powerful this is. Mr. Tagna, I'm going to pretend that I'm wrong. I pray that I'm wrong. I'm going to look at your payment options. Good. You do have it. Good. You have it filled out. Okay. All right. Let's look at your profile. This is what's not filled out. It is. Okay, good. You're good. Okay, then I take that back. You are Mr. Tommy Adams. Okay, so there. So we're good. I'm glad I was wrong about that. So now, as I did that, I want you to follow with me on something. I got exactly what I give. I'm going to actually market to people in a specific category. I think you guys remember me telling you in order to be successful with this stuff, you have to be purposeful and have a strategy. Do you remember me telling you that? And I hope you do. I told you have to have a strategy and you have to have a target. The target has to be specific. So here we go now. I'm going to narrow this down to people who, if in fact they need to understand, work with financing and budgeting, which is a lot of people, right? A lot of people go for Dave Ramsey, they go for things like that. Now I've got a specific target that I can market to. So as I do that, now I've got to start thinking, all right, I want to generate a lead where I have this book, right? It normally sells for $29.99, but right now it's discounted for $7. However, for a limited time, I'm going to make it available for them absolutely free. Just tell us where to send it. That's the kind of thinking I'm doing, right? So watch this. Everyone bear with me for a moment. We're going to do two things. I'm going to actually create an incentivized concept, right? And right now, I'm going to go have the page built for Tacna with it. So right now, I have a landing page in my back office that may help with that, right? So let's go ahead and look at my look at my back office so I can manage what that's going to look like. Desktop, Google, okay. I want you guys to bear with me on this because it is such an amazing concept. This is how I've learned to do all business. So watch how cool this is. I'm going to go to my marketing system. Do you have a member? Are you a member? Where are you at? Oh, do you have this marketing system, Tommy? I guess that's a yes. Okay, good. So now, budgeting. I'm going to pick this one with the home. You see this? I'm going to pick this. I want to use one of my marketing system pages, right? So watch what I do. I'm going to take this concept. I'm going to copy. Now, I'm going to teach you guys something that's really powerful. I don't ever expect people to do stuff for me. I want to know what I need to do, and then I do it, and I make everyone else get out of the way. I refuse to be a dependent, and so can you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google Docs. I'm going to do what we call docking this thing out. And so, you know what? I can work in front of me. I don't have to. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm going to work right here. Okay. So now, I'm going to, by the way, I live by Google Docs. You see my screen? There's everything that you're enjoying. I documented it out first. I have thousands of these. It's first my imagination, and then it becomes reality. Every page that you guys look at in this system, it was first documented out so that I could have it come to fruition. Whatever comes to the mind, if you're not lazy, you can actually give it a face and give it a shape and give it some form. So watch what I'm doing. I'll make this bigger so you guys can see it. Watch this. Please. Take the image on the URL below and change the text to be this. To be as seen in image. Don't worry, I expect you to be confused, but that's why you have recordings. You guys are going to have to learn how to think outside the box if you're going to make it. Don't be a dependent wearing your upline out all the time. Be a go-getter. So now, what are you doing, Dwayne? What does that mean? Don't worry, I'm going to show you. So now, where's my page that I made? See this opt-in page? Now I got it. So now, I'm going to mess your heads up right now. Now, you guys have what they call snapshot tools you can get off the internet anywhere, right? I happen to use the one that's called, the one I use is called My Cloud App. Now, see what I'm doing here? I'm going to change the top to the what do you call this? The text. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this. I'm going to go ahead and put a line through it, and I'm going to have them build. I'm going to have the back office build this page for me. Yeah. Now, they're going to do it for you. If you already have the marketing system, they'll do it. If not, they're not going to do it. So watch this. They'll build something for you, but it won't be that. So watch how cool this is. Now, I got myself something really important. So now I'm going to go ahead and start with my text. It says inbox money proven system, right? I'm going to change it to text, right? Let your budgeting, create I gotta come up with smaller bites. Hang on a second. Your budget could be your fortune. That's the first part I'm going to do, right? I'm going to have them replace that text with that. Thus far. There we go. Now, that's the first part, right? I'm going to do this. Put a circle around this. Then I'm going to put some other clubs. Now, get free. Uh-oh, mute yourself.
Are we supposed to see your screen?
Oh, don't tell me you can't see my screen.
All I can see is inbox money. I can't see anything you're doing.
No! Oh, I'm so glad you're with me. Hang on for a second, bro. I got you. Resume share. It stopped sharing for some reason. Hang on. Let me get to it. Stop share. Man, everyone else can see it on social media. So let me do this now. Let me see if it works this time. Aha. Thank you. Tommy, how about now?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. Get free. Get free. Never before. No, get. Now, lastly, and I'm going to take this and make it a little smaller. You don't have to worry about seeing it. By the way, if you could see that, I don't think I can make it larger. So I'm just following what I'm doing. And then lastly, I'm going to put in this section here. So let me put this circle around it. Lastly, I'm going to put one more bit of text. Says, tell us where to send. Okay, now, or should be now. Now, lastly, got it done. So now, I'm docking something out. I'm showing you guys a little trick to the trade, and I want you to. I just saved it. Now it's going to become real for me once it lets me save it. Let's say Tommy page. All right, you can still see, right?
Yes, so which tool did you use to be able to do that?
Don't worry, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to put resources in the description of the recording. So just for now, my cloud app's what I use, but they sell a ton of, depending if you're using a PC or a Mac. Okay?
Okay.
All right, don't get lost. I want to make sure that I don't lose anyone. So if you can just bear with me for a second. So now I need to get back to the other page. There's so many windows here. I don't want to cheat you guys by escape. Okay, now I can close this out. Oh, you little environment. There he goes. Get out of my way. Ooh-wee. Toggle. This is it. Come on now. It's all your fault, Tommy. I can't close. Oh, there it is. Minimize. No, that's not it. Okay. I'm going to have to go up here and close it down. Just give me a second, because here's what I want you to see. I want you to see that a lot of times we feel like there's no answers for us. It's only because no one's ever given us the chance to be successful with other things, right? But now you can be, because it's all about empowerment, and it always was about that. So let's see. This is, some of you probably wondering, why does he always say, no matter what color you are, no matter what, he always talks like that? Some of you don't know why. It doesn't, none of that matter. It matters what you plug into things. How much of yourself do you apply? So let me go ahead and, now I can go back to the screen. Google. There we go. So now, I've got myself an image. Watch what I do. I'm going to insert image. upload. I'm going to grab that image that I just did. I call it Tommy Page Ping. Bingo. Now, I got this on the Google Doc. By the time the programmers get it for your done for you page, you're set to go. Now, watch this now. Set the autoresponder, the opt-in form. Bingo. Now, we don't know what that is yet because I have to go in and create it. Now, so you know what I'm doing, folks. I want you to get it. What I'm doing right now is I just now set up the first part of a communication system. Now, do you see why I didn't start with this on Wednesday night? It wouldn't have made sense. You'd have just been bored out of your wits. You probably are now anyway if you need to be fed off of that. I like making money, and I love doing it automatically when I'm sleeping. I love to generate leads all the time. So in order to help you with your success, I got to get you not to let the things that make you money bore you. This kind of thing of the technology, I don't like it, but it's necessary. And I don't want to depend on anyone else. I don't want someone else having control over what feeds my grandchildren. I need that. So that's why I'm owning it. So what I'm showing you is way I've always done it when I joined a company. And some of you guys remember Artists International. Became president in I want to say 2 months. Just went nuts with my communication system. Had my team site, my team system. Everyone's constantly something's like Jim does on Facebook, but we didn't have that in those days. But anyway, let me go ahead and show you what to do now. Now we need to mess up the autoresponder. Someone says they want an auto email system. You already have an email system. That's why it's important to come to these. You already have them. Most of you just don't even use your products, but let me help you for sure. So now, I got the doc almost done. I'm going to go create an autoresponder email campaign with Tommy's info. Okay? So walk with me if you will. I'm logging back into my dashboard. This is only an example, Tommy. You can create your own thing. This is an example. You don't even have to use this campaign. I'm going to the autoresponder. See where it says autoresponder? And I'm going to create a campaign. I'm going to create an email campaign. By the way, this will look different at pre-launch around the 15th. We have a whole new design and everything for this, but just so you can see now, email campaign. Let's go. Let's see, create new campaign. You can't even see my freaking page. I can't believe I did it again. I'm going to start it over from the top. Bear with me, folks. I'm glad y'all love me. As I'm telling you what, I don't love me half the time the way I'm doing this. And I think I better put my photo... I better put myself in the page with you so that I don't lose you. Okay. So all I did here is I went to the products. I went to autoresponder because now that I'm going to set this page up and do it right, I need an email campaign so that every time someone opts in, they begin to get my drip email messages. Over the next so many days, they're either going to sign up with me or they're going to opt out, but they will be messaged. I don't have to pick up my phone. I don't have to do 3 ways at my upline. I'm going to make sure I have a system that is constantly communicating downhill to prospects. Everyone good? If you have any questions about it, let me know. All good? Okay. So now I'm going to go to email campaign. Now I'm going to create the campaign. Watch this now. Budgeting campaign. Now, you can call it whatever you want, and you're probably going to spell it better than I do, right? Budget campaign. So I got that. Now, what's the description about? Free giveaway book to help individuals manage their money. Now, here's something to note. These are for you. The person who's on your list never sees the description or any of those. But I need Tommy to know what it is when he goes back in and looks and wonders what the heck this is there for. So watch how cool this is. Now, who's sending it? It's me. Who do you think? It's Tommy Adams, right? Tommy, give me your email address. Say it loud. Say it so I can hear you.
It's dgadams51@gmail.com.
51?
Yep.
Man, I remember when I was 51. For real. All right.
Me too.
Yeah, okay, because you get it. Shoot. I was young and spry when I was 51. So, email of the sender, right? I got it there. Now, our system is going to give you defaults. When you become really good at this, you won't need defaults. You're going to build every page that you want, right? So right now, we already have our own opt-in confirmation page. We also have our unsubscribe page already built in. But when you become good at this, you're going to create a page for everything you do so you are branded. You are the company, we're the provider. That's just so you know. But we have them already built into the system. So now, I'm going to get down. Tommy, what's your time zone?
What's my what now?
Time zone.
Oh, it's Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard?
Yes.
There it goes. Okay. So let's just go and get this straight. It's a pretty cool name. It's kind of gangster. Okay, here we go. So now, I got a campaign. Walk with me, folks. Do you see this? It is enabled, but it's not active yet. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over, and I'm going to click on the campaign. I'm going to activate the campaign. Step number 1. Next thing I'm going to do is I need to have an autoresponder series made. So in order to do that, I need to create a campaign. So when I do this, I'm going to create what's called a form. I need form code. But I'm going to wait until I create this campaign works. So I'm going to create a form code now, okay? Watch this. I'm going to click this, and here's my form code. I'm going to name it Adams Budgeting Camp. Y caps. Then I click done. Now, what you're going to see, this number over here, this is what you're going to show to the programmers. So that whenever people opt in, they're going to get the message series that I'm about to create here. Now, don't worry. If you're overwhelmed, don't let it bother you, because you don't have to do this once to get it to work. That was the hardest part for me. I never understood what was going on, so I didn't start it. And later I realized once I started, people are just going to be hearing from me. And I became a top producer in any company I've ever joined. I became a top producer because I used systems instead of my time frame. We only got 24 hours a day, but when I set up systems, they work 24 hours a day. That way people can join from Australia, they can join from Croatia, wherever they want to be, and I got them. Now, walk with me now. I said set up the opt-in form to this autoresponder, right? Form code. Let me go put form code. Now, does anyone know what happens here with that? With that code that I just gave? Anybody understand what that code is for? Talk to me. If you don't, tell me that. Would you like to know then? Because
No, so you can share, let us know. I appreciate it.
You're beautiful. Thank you. That way, because otherwise it won't become real. You'll be so intimidated you won't even do it if you don't get to know what that's about. So whenever someone opts into a form like this one, the system needs to know what campaign it is. So if you guys were going to have an autoresponder in Aweber, let's say, they're going to limit how many campaigns you can have. But the way the system is going to know which campaign to send to the people that are opt in, it's got to have a code. And that code means that if I've got one for my family reunion, one for church, one for business, one for my fishing hobby, I don't want my people for my business getting the fishing hobby message. So the technology creates a code so it can always be identified which messages to send. Does that make sense? I won't ever see you typing. I actually would need audio on this one. Does that make sense now? A little bit? I can't see text. Okay, thank you, whoever said that. So, the code's important. Now, form code can be a lot of HTML, which is more than intimidating. That's why I like to show you this way. It's much faster. So now, if I was to give this to the programmers tonight, Tommy, you would have it, but you don't have messages yet. I didn't write them. That's the last part of tonight's webinar. I know we've gone over a little bit, but it's worth it so you can see that you not only aren't you helpless, but you have email systems and they do inbox. People will get them. And you want to create a way for people to actually get the message. So now I've got work to do. I've got to do two things. I've got to teach you now the next part of this. So watch this. I'm going to go back to the product itself. Anybody remember what the name of that product was? I think it was budgeting and financing, I think, right? Let me go ahead and grab it. And I want you to see something I'm going to do. Oh, there it is. Budgeting and financing. First of all, I know what the website looks like. I need to download it, right? I'm going to do several things. I'm going to go ahead and copy the link so I can set up for my email. Now, by the way, guys, I told you about all these different kinds of communication. One of the communications I left out is called internal communication. I create these things called sticky notes, and I create regular notes so that I can always work around my desk and not need to have to call people to do things and know things. So for now, you can't see I guess you won't be able to see my screen because I'm not showing you that. But I think I will, for the sake of making sure that you're following with me and that you're empowered. So I'm going to show you now what I'm doing. I'm going to go back out. I'm going to show my my desktop. So let's go ahead. Let's see desktop. Good. You let me know if it shows. Well, I'll be able to see if it does or not anyway. So let me go ahead and put this on. As I show the desktop, I'm going to do something. I don't know if it shows you. Can you guys see that it's showing my icons or no?
No.
Okay, then it's a waste of time. Then I won't do that. Oh, yours will. Let me hold on a second. You can. I can make sure you guys can see. 1 second. Desktop. 2. Whiteboard. Let me open up my notes. I figured out. Whoever said no, thank you again. You guys for being helpful. I know it's a pain in the neck to have to interact so much.
Is that what you're asking?
What?
Are you asking, you said, well, can we see, are you talking about your little headers for your pages?
No. I was actually on my desktop looking for specific products to open. So I'm going to open up one of them. They're called Notes real quick, okay? So you will be able to see that. So hold that thought a second. I'm going to go ahead and share that with you right now. Here we go. I opened up one called Notes, okay? So on this one I'm going to share with you called Notes. For those of you who are, get my primary window. 1 second. I want to show those there on Facebook too. So I'm going to go to primary window. So everyone can see. Good. So if you notice, I have, you can see it now, yes? I write notes and stuff for everything, and I use docs for everything. You see this? I can go back to 2011 when I first got my first Mac, right? Or 2004, because this only goes to 14 for this one, but I can go back here to CoinLogic notes or whatever else. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a note now so I can set up where to write my email messages. So I have a link here that's important for me to use. That specific link is for where the actual product URL is. I need to show the person how I'm giving them for free what I actually charge for. Okay, that's the first thing. Don't worry, that'll make sense in a minute. Now I have to download the product. Okay, good. Glad you could see. This is really good. Now I'm just going to download the product because I know you can see it, right? Because I see what you see. I think you do.
Yes, I can see it.
You see notes? That's it? Oh, man, I'm really not a Zoom fan, you guys. I'm only doing Zoom because I do know it's convenient for a lot of you guys. Because I get so confused. It's not Zoom, it's really me, but let's go anyway. So here we go. Now you can see it, what I'm doing. So now what I'm doing is I'm looking for that product, right? I just told you about budgeting and financing. So just a second. Hold on, my brother. Hold on, brother, man. So I've got several things. The next one I'm going to get is I have the actual product. Now I'm going to download it in front of you. And there's one reason I'm going to download it. Ready to know what that is? So I can upload it and use it as a giveaway. If you get one of these snapshot tool places, they let you upload. You can always upload to Dropbox or upload to Google or something like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually upload it now. So I'm going out to my desktop. Wow. And I don't know if you can see that or not. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, cool.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Oh, shut up. Siri? Golly. Okay, desktop. Download. You guys are very kind to be with me because like I said, I'm not really a big fan of this whole Zoom thing. All right, so here we go. I got a product over here that I'm going to now upload to my, whatever you call this thing, my cloud. Oh, I closed the cloud app. So I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to upload it to cloud app and upload to cloud app. There it goes. It should ding in a moment or tell me that it's not open. Now I'm going to take that link that I have. It just now dinged. I'm going to take that link and I'm going to put it on the notes. You guys can still see the notes. Now download the product here. Because remember, when somebody opts in, they're going to need to get a message from me and subscribe. When they do, I want them to be able to download the product. And there I have a link for that.
We're still on the budgeting finances page.
Of course you are. Because you're a sweetheart. Yeah, if you just stay with me, that's going to be helpful. I got to hire you to be my eyes. My gosh. Thank you. So what I just did was I downloaded and uploaded for you, right? And I have a link now for that product. And I couldn't write an email message for Tommy until I had a way to give the person what they just opted in to get. So watch this. Now, the first message that I write for my autoresponder is going to give them a link to see the product that I'm offering. And it's also going to give them a place where they can download the email. Download the book that they just bought from me or they just got for free. So now, with good reason, you finally are going to be able to see my Google. This time, you'll be able to watch me as I write it out. That was the problem I had before. Now you can. And don't worry if you're overwhelmed. You'll be able to watch this. It'll make sense. What I may do is chop it up if I need to give you clarity. But I invite you to come to my sessions where I'll be doing private trainings just on how to write your autoresponders. And I have several videos I'm going to send you guys to follow up in the description that shows you how to write them, and then be quick, be pretty steady about it. So hang tight. Now I'm going to go write my email message. Okay. So I'm going over to email forms and rules. Nope. Campaign. I'm going to the campaign and I have this budgeting campaign. Tell me if you guys are able to see that. I pray that you are. Yeah. Okay, good. So now if I'm going to write one, so what do? I need to create a campaign? No, I got a campaign. I need to create an autoresponder, what we call tracking message, right? So I can track them. And this tracking messages means that I'm going to write an email message and have it go to them. And I can determine, I could write out 52 of these so they get one a week. I can write out 12 so they get one a month and call it a newsletter. And it's going to happen automatically for them. Or I can write it to where over the next week, they get one email message about every other day, updating them on what's going on and getting them in front of my opt-in page. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to create the tracking message, the first one. So now I want it to be HTML. What's the topic, right? This one is, right, your requested what's the name of that book anyway? Darn it. Budgeting and finance book. Okay, your requested book. Okay, good. All right. Now, you have to get used to, if you're going to communicate effectively, your communication must be personal. If it's not personal, you lose. It must be. If you are somebody that loves to collect leads, only email addresses, and not get their name, you're being foolish. People don't make financial decisions unless it's an intimate one. People won't talk religion with you. They won't talk politics or race or anything unless they feel comfortable enough with you. Begin to use the name. Name creates, there's no greater resource to create comfort between you and another individual than using their name. We like to read our name as human beings. We like to hear it. So put it in there. Your requested book is ready, name. No, don't need to put anything more. That's enough. So now, hello, name. as you requested, I have included in this email message the powerful book called Now, I recommend if you're going to do something like this, be smart enough to read it. Know what it's about so you can really be empowered. It's going to make it easy for you to write a message like this. I am fortunate enough that I too had to read all I could on managing my family budget and our finances. Now, I am able to do more with less, and most of all, get more quality time. I know you guys, it's Friday night, you got to go out and dance. If you do, that's fine, but I want to, for those of you that really want to get this, stay here. Don't miss it. Now, download my free book here. Now, I'm a big fan of two things. Number one, I think it's really important not to include links, but to hyperlink what I want to what they're getting, right? So I'm going to go back and I'm going to click on my link and I'm going to hyperlink my specific message, my specific link. So now they can download the book free right there. By the way, if you like, again, before you download, you can see how and where I sell that very same book that is now yours for being a valued subscriber. Tommy, you with me, buddy? This is in your account.
Yes, I am. Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, so now, before you download, see where I send the same book, right? So now I'm going to hyperlink that one to actually the link where it is. So I'm going to go ahead and click on hyperlink. I don't like putting messy links in people's in messages to people. So now there we go. By the way, if I find other things that may be helpful for you, I too will also I will also send. Blessings to you and your family name. Now, by the way, I'm a man, so I have to do this. I have to establish my neutrality from the beginning. A lot of times, if you're the opposite sex, the person you're emailing, you might think that they want something different. So I try to put things in there that let them know that I have great respect for them. So when I mention you and your family so many times, even if they don't have a family, they will see me as safe and know that I don't want anything. I have no ill will in me. And I'm clear about that in my communication. Not only that, I'm giving them something. Usually when people give you something, there's a hook. I'm doing it so they can know. I'm not trying to hoodwink them on anything. I'm a person of value. Now, from now until the day they opt out of my list, they're going to always get great content from me. However, the next few email messages they get are going to be about what I'm doing in my business now that I do manage my budget. So take a peek. Now, I kept it short and to the point. I almost put Dwayne Golden. There. See that? That's it. Now, you guys see, look at my screen? Send when. I'm going to send this message on the same day they opt in, because that's when they requested. That way, I got that thing there. Most people will forget. If you visit a page and you get something a day or two later, you don't even remember why they're sending it to you. So this one is 0. You guys understand what I mean by intervals here?
Yes.
Okay. It's essential that you understand this. All the messages that are written It will be determined from the day that the user has opted in. This one's going to stay 0, and I want to track how often they click on the links. I'm going to create the message now. Oh shoot, I got my first tracking message. Isn't that interesting? Now, you have that. In front of you guys, I'm going to do the second one because I want you all to see that it's not a one or done. Taking 2 to 4 hours a day, I told you guys, there's not one person here that couldn't create multiple 6 figures for your family. 2 to 4 hours a day, setting up things that will change and transform your lives. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. Budgeting, campaigning. Create a tracking message. Watch this. I'm creating it. Hope you're in follow? So good? So far so good?
Yep.
After talking over with my wife about the benefits for our family, since I have read so much about budgeting. I know they're interested in that. That's why they did it. But I'm going to show you how to get this. I'm going to write this email really quick, and you can fill it out later because I need to show you the last piece because I have to be done in like 5 minutes or so. So hang tight with me. So,
Okay.
I want you to get this, everyone. It becomes magical because once you do this, all day long, every day, when people are opting in, you don't have to worry about if they solve, they know what the business is about. You're going to be able to get them there. So watch this. Let me see. Okay, so now, here we go. So here goes what I came up with. Number one, I now, not only because of COVID, work from home, but I do because I can afford my own business now. Number two, I attend more family functions because of this new found freedom. 3, I understand more of the things on financial TV shows. Lastly, wait a second, folks. I have included my latest advantage for you to see, just in case it is a blessing for your family too. Now, here's where my link goes. My landing page. See this? My landing page. Now, in order to know what my landing page is, you guys, since you're already looking, watch this. John, or just below. Wait, there's an email address. JB at right? No, JB at gmail.com. Okay, so now I want you to see what the landing page looks like. They're already going to be used to this landing page. So now when they get here, they get to see exactly what my business is. So this is the one I'm going to put in there. So now I'm going to put best find. Now, guess what it's going to be? It's going to be a link. Now, I know some of y'all are lost, but trust me, when you do what I'm showing you right now, your business life looks different, right? Catch ya soon, Tommy. Okay, now, Tommy, I'm going to put 555. Now, I'm intimate enough that I make people go crazy. They can't help but want to call me. I make sure that I get to recruit people. And this is honest to goodness. The majority of people on my team, I probably knew 10 to 20. The rest, I had no idea who they were. Now, I don't want them to get that the next day. I want them to get that 2 days after they opt in with me. 2 days. Now, and I want to track that link. You understand? Now,
Yes.
okay, so now, you're going to need to know one last thing. How do you know who to market to about these things? Here's what you guys should know. For like $5, now this is some magical stuff. I don't have time to go into it in this training. I'm going to probably have one of the professionals that I've worked with come in and show you how this is done, but it's pretty phenomenal. I can look up budgeting and finance on YouTube, right? And I look at people that have the most views. So this guy, let's see, he's got 1 million views. Sound like he's good. How to manage money. He's got a lot of subscribers. Let's go look at something. How many videos? Watch this now. He has over 1 million views on this one video. What YouTube allows you to do, and it literally for pennies. Watch how cool this is. Everyone who's liked or watched this video, now YouTube, let me get this out of there. YouTube will let your campaign go in front of them. When they log into their YouTube and start searching, they can see a brief video that's made about finances. And then when they click, they can click on the page to learn more. It takes them to the opt-in page. There's a lot of stuff like that you can do. I wanted to get that out there. Let me go ahead and stop because I got my friends in social media like they got to go, and my people who are getting ready to start the Spanish live webinar are like going to go crazy if I don't stop. So for those of you who are on social media, I'm hanging up for you. For those of